Uh, Rakhi madam, shall we start?
Just a moment.
Okay.
We'll just wait for 2-3 more minutes. We'll just wait at least if we reach 300 learners, then we shall begin the session. Lothar sir, is it okay with you?
Yes, sure.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you. So, sir, we have reached the participant numbers have reached up to 319, and it will increase as we proceed with the session. So I think it's good to begin with the session right now. I'll just quickly give an introduction to all the learners who have joined. Lothar sir, am I audible?
Yes.
All right. Dear learners, very good evening. So it indeed is a pleasure again to host Mr. Lothar sir here for the session. This is the third session of this particular webinar series that we have done for you. So the webinar series is called Principles and Practice of Vedic Management. Today, sir will be up with the third session of this webinar, where he will be talking on good health as the basis of successful and fulfilling personal and business life. So I would request sir to go ahead with the session and enlighten our students on this particular topic. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's great joy and honor to be connected at the students of DPU Online Center for Learning. And I'm greeting you. I think you're from all over the world. And it's a great joy to speak about the good health, how important it is for the individual life, but also what impact it has for the company as a whole. And the context of the session is Vedic knowledge. So Veda means knowledge, and this most ancient knowledge comes from India. And the science of good health and long life is called Ayurveda. So I will be sharing now my presentation with you. Just a moment, please. So we talk today about the management of your good health for a stable life and how to use the world's most ancient healthcare system to take care of our health and help you stay strong despite of external circumstances. And for those of you who are new in the session, this is the beautiful building in Germany where our Maharshi Ayurveda Health Centre is located, in the right part of the building, for more than 30 years, where we have treated more than 30,000 patients with Ayurveda. And the clinic has earned many prestigious awards, more than 30 awards from all around the world. And this is the team here. We are about 90 staff looking for the health of our clients, who come also from all over the world. And those of you who don't know AyurvedaNet, this is a healthcare system that will play a very important role in the future of the world. It comes from the Vedic science. Ayush means life, and Veda means science. And the goals of Ayurveda is, first of all, prevention. And this is the most important thing, that we don't get sick. And then also it is very beneficial for the rejuvenation and revitalization, then also for the cure and even enlightenment. Unfolding our full potential is one of the goals of Ayurveda. And it's very ambitious, but we find the possibility, when this knowledge is implemented on a big scale, even to create a disease-free society. The knowledge of Ayurveda is thousands of years old, but in previous decades and centuries, it was pushed back and was lost. And my teacher, Maharshi Ayurveda, he revived that knowledge together with the greatest experts of Ayurveda. You see here some of them, Dr. Triguna, Dr. Bharadwaj Maharshi, and Dr. Dwivedi, about 40, 50 years ago. And he was working very closely with the family traditions of India, because many things have not been taught in the colleges and universities, but they were kept in the family traditions. And Maharshi, like a puzzle with the family traditions, has put together the knowledge as a whole. And he also was working together with modern scientists. He had all the Sanskrit texts translated new again. And this most authentic and complete and scientifically based knowledge we call Maharshi Ayurveda. Maharshi means great seer. And the ancient founders of Ayurveda, like Charaka, Shushruta, they also were called Maharishi. And in this way, we also honor them, refer back to them, and also we honor the contribution of the Maharshi of our time. Now, Maharshi Ayurveda is most ancient, the most profound system of medicine, and it's deeply anchored in the Vedas. It is consciousness-based. That is very important. It has been lost in the past. It's holistic, it's authentic, it's effective and reliable, and it's free from harmful side effects. It's capable of creating collective health. It is universally applicable, and it's also easy to implement. Now, when we look at the ancient scriptures, for example, here at Shushruta, then we have a definition of perfect health. We will be talking about the doshas in a moment, these metabolic principles. And it says in the scriptures, when the doshas are in balance, when the appetite is good, when the dhatus, these are the tissues, are functioning normally, when the malas are in balance, the exterminations, and then comes the very important part, whose self, mind, and senses remain full of bliss, he is called a healthy person. So bliss means very intense happiness, and that is the basis for the good health. I don't know how many of you have been participated in the previous two lessons. I was explaining about the discovery of the unified field of all the laws of nature from quantum physics. And this unified field is the underlying force of everything in nature. And this is called in the Vedic expression Sanghita. And from Sanghita arises the 5 elements, the space and air element, the fire element, the water and the earth element. And these elements, they give rise to Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And every person is born with a certain constitution of these so-called doshas. And it's very important that we try to keep them in balance. The responsibility of the doshas are described here. Like from the earth and water element comes the Kapha, and Kapha is responsible for the cohesion, the structure, the water systems. Pitta comes mainly from fire. It's called also Agni, the metabolism, the digestion, the transformation. And Vata comes from the air and space element, and that gives rise to all the channels of the body, which are called the Shrotas in Ayurveda. And Vata is responsible for transportation, for movement, and for communication. Now, there are certain characteristics of these doshas. Vata has the properties of being cold, light, quick, dry, rough, subtle, moving, and Vata is leading the other doshas. People with a Vata dominance, they're a little bit skinny, they think very fast, but they also can get anxious very quickly and have sleeping problems, or they tend to have worries. Now, the Pitta qualities are hot, warm, sharp, fluid, slightly oily, light, sour, and pungent. And people who have more of the Pitta, they can get emotionally upset easily. They always have a good appetite. They can't skip a meal. And they flare up easily, but also they can cool down easily again. Now, finally, we have the properties here of the Kapha, that is heavy, cold, soft, oily, sweet, stable, slow, sticky, glue-like. And people with a Kapha constitution, they're more heavily built. They don't learn so quickly, but they have a very good memory when they have learned something. And now when these doshas get out of balance, then diseases start to come up. And we know that there are 6 stages of disease. Often I'm asked, what is actually the difference between modern medicine and Ayurveda? Modern medicine has many merits, and it's very great progress in our society that we have modern medicine. But modern medicine, from the Ayurvedic perspective, can detect diseases only when they have fully manifested to stage number 5 or 6. So in Ayurveda, we have the possibility to detect, for example, from Nadi Vigyan, already the early stages of the disease. And then when we detect the early stages of the disease, they are much more easy to treat, as you will see soon. I just see here a comment that the screen cannot be seen. Can you see the screen now? Is it possible again to see the screen? Hello?
So it was visible.
Good, good. Okay. So we go back now here. Here is a picture of the Nadi Vigyan, the pulse diagnosis. And this is also knowledge that has been lost to quite some extent in India, but it was maintained for the family traditions. And Maharshi has brought these family traditions together to enliven and teach that again and systematized it. And we have started in the Dr. Patil Ayurveda College already 2 years ago to give some lessons. And there's a great interest to learn the Nadi Vigyan. Now, when we detect the diseases, there are many different treatment modalities to come back to balance again. So we have, number 1, we have the transcendental meditation, which is a simple natural technique to expand our consciousness and to experience the Atma, the inner self, that field of inner happiness and unbounded consciousness. Then pulse diagnosis is also treatment, because for the attention of the Vaidya, some cure already takes, some relief is happening already. Then we have Maharshi Vedic vibration technology and Vedic sound, which is using the Vedic sounds for enlivening the inner intelligence of the body so that the body can cure itself. Then we have very precious herbal medicines. Then diet is very, very important. It says in the ancient scriptures of Ayurveda, if you have the proper herbs but the wrong diet, then the herbs properly cannot work. And if you have the proper diet, you don't need the herbs. Then there is a tremendous knowledge about the seasons, the daily routine, the annual routines. Then we have the detoxification treatment, Panchakarma, which is the main core of our program in my center in Germany. Then yoga, asana, and pranayama, breathing exercises, bring us back into balance. Then there is a treatment with the gem lights. There is aromatherapy. And in one of the later lessons, we will be talking about Jyotish and Yagya. Jyotish is the knowledge of the future, the past, the present, and the future. the relation of the planets and the cosmos to our individual health. And there are diseases which the doctor can treat, and there are diseases which the doctor cannot treat so easily. And for that, we need the Vedic astrology to understand. Another topic that we will discuss in a later lesson is called Sthapatya Veda. This is the ancient science of building houses and cities in accordance with the natural law. So we take into account the effect of the different qualities of the sunlight during the day. And this has a great benefit for the health. There's also some very fascinating research about Sthapatya Veda, which we will be presenting. Then music therapy, Gandharva Veda, has a very great curative benefit. And then also organic food, and even Vedic organic food, which is utilizing the recitations for the growth of the plant. And then finally, collective health through the group dynamics of consciousness. When we have wars in the world, when we have crime, that means the collective health is not proper. And for the ancient sciences of yoga and Ayurveda, we can even reduce the stress in society. We will go later also into that more details. Now, first I start with transcendental meditation, especially for those who couldn't attend the previous sessions. This is a very simple technique that has been learned by more than 8 million people around the world. It is practiced twice a day with closed eyes, sitting comfortably, where you experience a very profound state of inner restful alertness. And the TM technique has been researched by more than 600 studies. I'll just show a few of them to you now. This meta-analysis shows that there is a reduction of fear and anxiety, and it shows that TM, Transcendental Meditation, is twice as effective as other forms of meditation, like biofeedback or mantra meditation or progressive muscle relaxation. This is a study that was done by the American Heart Association, and they have received a $5 million grant from the US government to find natural ways to help people with high blood pressure, which is killer number one in the Western world. And they found that TM is 4 times as effective as a combination of diet and exercise, 4 times more effective as progressive muscle relaxation, and 7 times more effective than the diet program to reduce high blood pressure. This study was done with Afro-Americans above 50 years who have been suffering for more than 20 years with hypertension. And the aging process is even slowed down when people practice TM. It was shown that the various factors determining the biological age, like memory and blood pressure and depression, so many physiological and psychological parameters, it was shown that people who meditate up to 5 years, they are 5 years younger, their average age physiologically, and long-term meditators even 12 years younger than the average of society. The average age of the research group was 40 years, so it's very significant. This is a study done by the biggest health insurance company in the United States. They have 500,000 members, out of which 2,000 are practicing TM. And they have been comparing the costs of the meditators with the non-meditators over a period of 5 years. So it's a very significant p-value here. And they have seen that the heart diseases went down, the costs by 87%, cancer by 56%, and nervous disorders even by 94%. Now I'm coming to a different area of treatment, and this is called Panchakarma. That means 5 treatments. It's a detoxification program with diet changes and oil massages and steam baths and cleaning the intestine. And this is purifying our channels so that the inner intelligence of the body can flow again from cell to cell. And it reestablishes the connection between consciousness and the inner intelligence, which is the source of health. There are many, we have about 40, 50 different treatments. Abhyanga is the synchronized oil massage. Vishesh is using a little bit more pressure. Vatana is a paste with, which helps to increase the metabolism to lose weight. Pitsi chili is a royal treatment. We use about 8 liters of oil that is flowing through a tube and is increased in heat. And it's very good for joint problems and muscle problems. Shirodhara is the flowing oil on the forehead. So there are many, many different treatments. You may feel that you may not need that now. Most of the students are very young, but as you're getting older, you may have some chronic problems. You may remember this lesson today, that there is panchakarma to rejuvenate and get rid of many chronic problems. There have been quite a few scientific studies. The panchakarma treatment is able of removing environmental toxins. We have 2 kinds of toxins. We have water-soluble toxins and we have fat-soluble toxins. And the water-soluble toxins you can remove easily by sports, by going to sauna, by drinking hot water. But the fat-soluble toxins, they have a half duration time of 25 years. That means the body needs, in a natural way, 25 years to get rid of those toxins. And through panchakarma, they have measured 10 environmental toxins in the blood, and after only 12 days of treatment, 58% were removed. This is really significant. And these environmental toxins, they are correlated with hormonal problems, with cancer, and also with heart diseases, and many, many more. So there is quite a lot of research, just to show you a few more. It has overall improvements in health, like energy, well-being, appetite, digestion, sleep, emotions, usefulness. This is a study done in a German university. It shows that there is a significant reduction of the cholesterol, leading to a risk factor by more than 10% to get a heart attack. And this is a study that was done on a herbal preparation, Maharshi Ayurveda herbal preparation, Amrit Kalash. And they have given that to ladies who were going to the chemotherapy. And they have been measuring the side effects, like in this case of vomiting. They have measured the side effects in about 20 areas. And in almost all of them, except losing hair, you see here the 6 different cycles of the chemotherapy. The side effects of the chemotherapy were reduced in average by 50%. Can you imagine how much suffering can be prevented when people going for chemotherapy would take this Ayurvedic preparation? And as I have explained in the beginning, the earlier we start, the earlier we detect the diseases, the more easy we can treat them. So this preparation is strengthening also the immune system. We have seen benefits in almost all areas of chronic diseases like cardiovascular disease, digestive diseases, metabolic disorders like diabetes, gynecological disorders, joint pain, respiratory diseases, so skin diseases. So it's a very huge area of positive benefits for the Ayurvedic approaches. Now, I'd just like to give you some simple advices that you can maybe implement in your daily life. So from Ayurveda, it is recommended to get up early in the morning without an alarm clock, to put 1 drop of oil in each nostril, to drink a glass of cool water, room temperature, so you can go to toilet, try to empty your bowels. Then the tongue should be cleaned, very important, and brush the teeth. The tongue is being cleaned because the toxins that have come out of the body, some of them are on the tongue. And when we clean, even with a spoon, you stand in front of the mirror, you clean your tongue, you will see that there is something on the tongue and it is removed. So that's very important. Then you can gargle with ripened sesame oil. You can do oil massage yourself. We can explain later how to do that. And Surya Namaskar, an Ayurvedic exercise, take a warm shower. And then it's good to do yoga asanas, pranayama, and transcendental meditation. Now I have some more tips for you, some golden rules for taking food. So we should eat in a pleasant, silent surrounding while seated. Eat what suits your taste and what agrees with you. Start with a moment of silence, like a prayer. Close your eyes and then chew very well. Watch your hunger and saturation level. And then you can have hot water, half an hour in small sips every day, many times, but not half an hour before food and not 1.5 hours after food. And then it's also recommended in Ayurveda to take food only when you are hungry. So we should avoid meals in between as much as possible because they create ama, toxins in the body. Breakfast can be light depending on your dosha dominance. We will learn later more about the different dosha types. And lunch should be the main meal because then the digestive power is the strongest. And the dinner should be easy to digest and early, between 5 and 7 o'clock. So there are many, many more things we can share with you. And in the next lessons, we will go more into the details of the different body types. And we give you very precious, simple advice on diet and nutrition. Also more about daily and seasonal routines, which is called dinacharya and ritucharya. Then we will learn how to reduce toxins through proper behavior, through proper diet. And then there's one big chapter in Ayurveda, which is called Rasayana, the promotion of a long and healthy life. And there are mental rasayanas like positive thinking and praying and meditating and doing good to others. And there are also herbal preparations that strengthen our immune system and promote longevity. And then finally, we will get some very precious advice how we can implement Ayurveda in the corporate world. So when the staff members of your future company, if they are happy and healthy, they will have good influence on the company, on the productivity. There will be less absenteeism. So Ayurveda is really a wonderful, wonderful science. And here you find some websites for those who didn't attend the last 2 lessons again. Here is the Transcendental Meditation website, tm.org. And those who would like to learn more about Ayurveda or even take online courses, there is the Maharshi College of Perfect Health International in the Netherlands. And finally, you also see my personal website here. So I have tried to keep it short today. Thank you very much so far. So we can use all the rest of the time to answer questions that you may have. Was it all clear? Did you all understand? Was it reasonable?
Yeah, learners. So we have the session open for you. I think a lot of students are interacting via chat and question answers.
Yeah.
That will just give some time for them.
Yes.
Yes, to ask their queries from this.
So I see already here some questions. I'll start to take it from here. So how to practice TM, Transcendental Meditation? It's practiced twice a day, 20 minutes, sitting comfortably with closed eyes. And you need to find a teacher who is certified, who is qualified to teach it. It takes about 5-6 lessons, 1.5 hours each. And you can go to the website tm.org, and there you find the different continents and different countries. And then you go there and look for a teacher in your area. There is also more information on the website tm.org. So just a moment, the next one says, to pursue a master degree in Vedic science, the platform is the same. Well, there is Maharshi International University in America. It's a university that is existing now for 50 years. And the website is miu.org. And they offer various degrees and courses on different branches of Vedic science. So what is the benefit to put the oil in the nostrils? You see, when you put the oils in the nostrils, it is calming down the mind. It is giving peace to the mind. And if you have some herbalized thing, it is also increasing the better functioning of the brain. And you will feel better when you do it. So here, just a moment, it's a Nadi dosha from marriage point of view. How reliable is that? Well, this is done by the Jyotishi, the expert. And this is a very detailed program where we have to look at the horoscope of both partners who like to get married, to see the compatibility of the two people. And also we can choose a date, a muhurta, that is bringing good luck. You see, there is a saying, this was under a good star, the influence. So we will have, in one of the next lessons, we will go into Jyotish. We will have about half an hour just to talk about Jyotish. Just a moment. So I'll just go with more questions here. I do pranayam before examination. This is very good. It brings you out. And Sthapatya Veda also, I need about half an hour to give you an idea. Sthapatya Veda basically means the science, how to build buildings in accordance with natural law. So the main principle is that the buildings should be aligned to the natural directions from east to west or from south to north. And the entrance should be either in the east or the north. And there is some magnetic field on the earth that is taken into account. And then also the rooms, they have different functions, like our body. The heart is always the same place, the liver is at the same place, the lung is at the same place. So like that, like our organs have different functions, different rooms, like the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, the office, the bedroom, they also have different functions. So they are positioned in certain parts of the building. And I have some beautiful pictures of that. I will show you some examples, and we will do that in one of the next lessons. Yeah. So let me just see.
There are few of our learners who are keen to know about what exactly Panchkarma is and what are its benefits.
That's a question. Okay. Panchakarma is a very ancient royal treatment, so to say, that is used for rejuvenating our whole body. And we have mainly 5 different categories of treatment. That's what Panchakarma means. So first, when people come, they have a doctor's diagnosis. We do the Nadi Vigyan, and we see what is their imbalance of the doshas. And then they have a change of a diet. For a couple of days, they eat a fat-free diet. But instead of breakfast, they take some herbs or some ghee, clarified butter. And that is not mixed with other food. And that is increased day by day, small quantities, 20, 60, 100 ml like that. And then it's circulating in the body, and it goes in between the fat tissues to loosen the toxins that are there. And then the people have a synchronous oil massage with herbalized oils. Then the metabolic rate is increased, the toxins start to move. Then they have a svedana, like a steam bath, and they start to sweat out the toxins through the skin. And then on the next day, they have Virechanat, they get some castor oil and some herbs, and they feel a lot of relief. They go many times to the toilet, but during that day, they have only some pea, some kind of rice soup, and all it has to be done under the supervision of a doctor. And then comes the beautiful part, the main treatment. We have more than 25 different types of massages, and they get always massages with two technicians. The ladies are treated by ladies, and the men are treated by men. And then through these herbalized massages, the whole system starts to move the toxins. And then they have some heat treatment again, and they get some enemas, which take out the toxins from the intestine. And the wonderful thing is, I have seen 30,000 people here going through Panchakarma. So when you see them coming, and when you see them going after 10 days or 2 weeks, they look 10, 15 years younger. And they say most of the problems that they had before, they're gone. So the people love the treatments, they love the benefits. Their digestion is better, depressions disappear, their sleep is better, they become more vital and energetic. And it's a beautiful, beautiful treatment. And you can also do it in Pune, attached to our wonderful Ayurveda College of DPU. There is some Panchakarma center run by Professor Yola and Professor Ranade nearby Pune, where you can do the Panchakarma. It's a little bit expensive because it's labor intensive, whereas the herbal preparations and the recommendations for diet, they don't cost anything, but they're very effective. So all the Ayurvedic treatments, they are helping that the diseases don't further develop. If stage 5 has reached, if the cancer is there already and it can be seen through the ultrasound, we need modern medicine, but then still Ayurveda is helpful as a supplementary medicine. So from stage number 5 and 6, we speak about integrative medicine, but modern medicine has nothing to offer for the stages number 1 to 4 in the development of disease. So I really believe that Ayurveda will be recognized in the future as the most supremely evolved system of healthcare in the world. From all points of view, prevention and cure. And Ayurveda includes everything in life: the consciousness, the mind, the emotions, the behavior, and the environment. Everything is covered with Ayurveda.
Yeah, in fact, I'm glad that you have taken up this point, because I see a lot of our learners has put this query up that is Ayurveda helpful for treatment of cancer? Can it help or not? So I think the point that you have just now shared has given them a lot of insight how actually Ayurveda can be on a higher level and how it can help if it is used rightly, right? And as we see that today, a lot of people are moving towards Ayurveda, having understood its benefit. And people like you are throwing light on it, is, helping us more to understand our roots and benefits.
Yes.
So, yes. Thank you, sir. So there is one more question that I would like to ask you on behalf of, one of our learners. So his name is Swami Rishikesh. He writes, working in corporate world, there is much pressure of all. So if we have any solution from Ayurveda, please tell us.
What is the kind of pressure? I didn't get it.
So working in corporate, he says there is lot of pressure, work pressure. So what can be done? Any solution to it in order to reduce that pressure?
Right. The single most effective way to get rid of pressure and stress is deep rest. And the rest gained during the practice of transcendental meditation is about physiologically twice as deep as during the deepest phase of sleep. And there are many companies in India and around the world who have introduced transcendental meditation, like also in my clinic. We have certain times when the staff people come together, they close the eyes and they meditate together. And just after 15, 20 minutes, they feel so rejuvenated and so refreshed that they become more happy and more creative. You see, many people also get frustrated in the factories because of the routine work. Always they have to do the same. But the nature of humans is to be creative. So some frustration may build up with the routine work. And when the people go within, then their creativity can be unfolded. At least, for 20 minutes, they have this inner peace. And there's a lot of creativity in that piece. So the transcendental meditation is very beneficial to reduce the stress and the frustration in the corporate world. And then also, if we have the proper diet in the companies, big companies, we have dining rooms, lunch facilities, they can offer Ayurvedic food to the people. Fresh food without toxins, no fast food. So the company can offer consultations of a Vaidya to check up the health of the people before they get sick. So there are many things we can do. So just go to the website Maharshi Corporate Development Program in India, and you will find you can contact and ask for teachers nearby. And also Vaidya who can come to the company and give some service there.
Thank you, sir, for answering this. Also, likewise, that I see a lot of, our learners, they're really excited to learn about this courses. They want to know more about it. So if you could again repeat where, if they want to really pursue, something on this particular courses, where they can head to. So if you could just help them with that.
Yeah, which courses do you mean now? The transcendental meditation course or
Yes, yes. So I see a lot of students, they are talking about, since you have introduced this beautiful concept here,
Yeah.
a lot of our learners are really excited and they are keen to, if there is any kind of certification that they can do.
Yeah.
You could tell them.
I understand all the students connected today are online students, right? Yeah. And they come from different parts of the world. I also hear that there is a big percentage coming from Africa. Is that right? So you have to go to the website tm.org. And then you see, you have a lot of information. There are also some YouTubes which explain the benefits of transcendental meditation. There are many testimonies, there are many celebrities who practice transcendental meditation, who share their experience there. But to actually learn it, you cannot learn it from YouTubes. There is no way. You cannot learn it from books. You have to go for personal instruction to a qualified teacher. And so there are 7 steps of learning transcendental meditation. The first step is a lecture about the benefits of transcendental meditation. And I don't know if there is a possibility for the students who missed the first lecture, Mrs. Raki, if they can, if you can provide a YouTube from the first and the second lecture.
Yes, sir.
To all of them. And then they have already the first steps, the first 2 steps they can do on video. The first steps, I talked about the benefits. The second, I explained the mechanics of the technique, where it comes from, and how it differs from other forms of meditation. And then they have to go to the internet, tm.org, and then they see the different 5 continents. They go to the continent, let's say Africa, and then they go to Senegal, or Ghana, or Kenya, and then they see, okay, in Kenya, we have 5 centers of transcendental meditation. And then they have the number or an email, and they contact them. And then they make an appointment with the teacher. to meet him in person. And the next step is a personal meeting with the teacher. It's a personal interview. And then one makes an appointment for the instruction, which is also always on a one-to-one basis. And then it takes about 1.5 hours to learn transcendental meditation. And then one practices on one's own every morning and evening, 20 minutes. But in the first 3 following days, following the personal instruction, it's necessary to see the teacher to understand, where do I know from if I meditate correctly or not? How to integrate the meditation in my daily life. So there is a 1-hour meetings on the day after instruction. On the next day, people had already 4 meditations on their own, and then they can understand how the mind and the body work together, how stresses actually came into the system, and how the stresses are being released. And then they again go home. Next day, they have already had 6 meditations, and then they can understand the long-term benefits of the meditation already on the basis of the own experience, and how higher states of consciousness evolve. And then after those 7 days, people can meditate all their life without a teacher. But there is one danger, so to say. The only thing we could do wrong in this meditation is to concentrate or to make an effort. And we have been trained all our life to concentrate and make an effort. And that is the only thing we can do wrong. And for that reason, Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, the great sage from India, who brought the teaching of TM to the Western world, he has developed a system of checking where the correctness of the practice can be checked. So one should, in the first year, maybe have once a month a checking of meditation. It's like when you buy a car, you need to go for the inspection, that you know everything is tuned properly. And then after some months, you feel so confident, you enjoy the benefits, you can meditate all the rest of your life alone. But if you want to take more services, the teachers are always there to serve and to help. And we have teachers in more than 110 countries around the world. And you can only go to the website to find the certified teachers. So you have to be sure he is properly trained by Maharshi's organization. Does it answer the question?
It did. Of course it did. And we see a lot of students, they are really excited about what all you have, taught them over this particular series. In fact, the new ones, they are very keen to know what has happened in the last 2 sessions. So for all of them, dear learners, the search session will be available in our official YouTube channel. The link of the same will be shared with you by your mentors. And also, I think, sir, if you permit, I would like to share your social media handles as well, so that our student, they can be in touch with you.
Of course. Okay. Yeah. I see here some more questions. Shall I answer some more questions?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. So can Ayurveda treat cancer? It can treat cancer. If it can be cured, it depends how soon the people come. What we have seen is when people come in the early stages, then it's much easier to help people and cure cancer. When people come already at advanced stages, we may have to use a combination of modern medicine also. But there is a lot of research on the benefits also in relation to the cancer treatment. So, and for peace of mind and how to neglect small things which every time disturb. Yeah, that is something that you have to learn while learning transcendental meditation. If you don't have the instruction and the basic technique, it is not so beneficial, to try to explain it. But I can just explain one principle that will give you some idea. The nature of life is to go towards more happiness, right? And during transcendental meditation, when the mind moves within and the mind becomes more peaceful, then the mind is drawn to that level where there is most happiness, which is the source of our thinking process. And then the small things, they don't bother. You know, when you listen to some music, then the mind naturally goes there where it is more attractive. And inside, it's more attractive than outside. So we have to learn the technique. We close our eyes. And then when you learn the technique, you will be guided how to do that. There is a question here about doing daily japa. Any form of meditation can be good and helpful. We have seen that transcendental meditation goes deeper than other forms of meditation. And there is no scientific research that shows that this kind of profound rest can be reached so easily and so quickly as in the transcendental meditation technique. Okay, so Vedic science, you can also go to the website that I gave here, the College of Perfect Health, and to find out about other Vedic science courses. Our International Maharshi University is offering courses in Jyotish, is offering courses in Stapatya Veda, is offering courses in Sanskrit language. If you go to the website miu.org, you find many, or the Maharshi College for Perfect Health in the Netherlands, which I have displayed here. So what is the importance of drinking lukewarm water always to the human body? What we actually recommend is the lukewarm water just in the morning as the first thing. During the day, we recommend to drink hot water. The water should be pure, and ideally, it should have been boiled for about 20 minutes. Let me explain you why. Some of you may know from your chemistry lesson that the formula of water is HO2, right? And so there are very long chains of HO2 molecules. And on the outer circle of the O atom, there are 2 electrons missing. That's why they connect to the 2 H electrons. And through the long process of cooking, these long molecule chains, they are broken up into small molecules, but they want to bind themselves again. And if you just drink pure hot water that has been cooked, then they can bind to the toxins in the body. Now, if you would drink coffee or tea, then they are bound to the colors, electrons, molecules, to the taste and to the smell. But when they are pure water, they can bind to the toxins. So what I would recommend, take a thermos flash, boil in the morning water for 15-20 minutes, put it in a thermos, and every half an hour, you have a few sips. And you will feel you get more energy, more clarity of thinking, and you will feel more happy because this will strengthen your Agni, your digestive power. And we have seen curative benefits of major treatments just by drinking hot water. Good. Where is your treatment center located? In India? In India, there are also Maharshi Ayurveda Health Centers. You can Google that. We have several centers in India also. Yes, yes. In Pune, when you go to the Ayurveda College at DPU, and the great principal of the college, Professor Gunawant Yola, he has a center, it's called Tanmant, something like this. It's about 1 hour outside of Pune, where they offer the Panchakarma treatment. Is vomiting good or bad for health after drinking water and toilet in the morning? Because I'm habitual, it is habit since 94. Vomiting, if you have it regularly, that comes by itself. That means there is a big kapha imbalance in your body, and the body is purifying itself. So the purification of the body is a good thing. But if it comes again and again, that means you have some disturbance in the body, you have a wrong diet, you don't digest the food proper, or you have the wrong food. So in that case, I would recommend you go to a Vaidya. I cannot give advice here from the distance. You have to see the Vaidya. The Vaidya is the Ayurvedic doctor in person, and explain him your problem, and he will give you some dietary advice and some herbal things that it becomes out of balance. Vomiting can be part of the Panchakarma treatment for people who have an excess of kapha, but only under the supervision of an experienced doctor, not on its own. That's not good. Yeah. Yes, there is a Panchakarma treatment also to improve the eyes. It's called Netra Tapanan. You have some chickpea dough around the eye, and they put a ghee inside. And then you open the eyes and you move it. And the eye is the organ of the pitta. And, all of you are probably straining a little bit by being too much on the mobile phones and on the computer. And then in the evenings, you may notice, or sometimes, that your eyes are burning. So the Netra Tapana is a very good treatment to take out the toxins of the eyes and reduce the water, reduce the pitta. Please repost the 10 rules for intake of food. Yes, I will send this to the moderator here, and then she can post it. Yeah, okay. Stress and burnout, how to cope with it. TM helps in many cases, but in some cases you may need also some other treatment. So if you have a severe burnout syndrome, I would also recommend to go to the Ayurvedic doctor. But the meditation can only be beneficial by giving rest. Just a moment. You are pursuing an MBA in agribusiness management. Very good. So there are also Vedic approaches for agriculture. If you write to me from your college, maybe together with the principal of the college, that you would be interested, I will refer you to Dr. Peter Swan, who is the expert in Maharshi University about Vedic agriculture. And maybe he can also give some lessons online to the faculty and students about the Vedic agriculture. Yeah, how to visualize during meditation, the breath concentration. In transcendental meditation, it happens completely spontaneously. We don't have to concentrate. It would even be a mistake to concentrate. We just go by the nature of the mind to experience more happiness. And as the mind settles down, the breathing just follows naturally. Doctors are getting frustrated. I understand that. So any Ayurvedic medicines? There are many, many Ayurvedic medicines that can help doctors. Doctors are often stressed. During the COVID time, the doctors in the hospitals were suffering a lot, and the nurses also. And the Maharshi organization has introduced in the hospitals a program that's called Help the Helpers. And they were introducing transcendental meditation to the nurses and to the doctors in the hospitals in America. And they greatly benefited from that. There is also some scientific research. So there are so many questions. I'm seeing now the time has run out. I would like to answer them all, but we have to leave it maybe for the next lesson. So since I see there is a very great interest in Ayurveda, the science of long and healthy life, I will do 2 more lessons for you just on Ayurveda. Now we have given a general overview. Next time we talk about the body types, the diet. We talk about how to reduce the toxins in the body. We take into account the seasonal routines and the daily routines. So we will have 2 more sessions on Ayurveda. And the 6th and concluding lesson will be about the Vedic astrology and the Vedic art of building, Vastu Vidya or Sthapatya Vidya. So it was a great joy for me to have so many interactive parts and wonderful. And I wish you all the best, all good health to all of you.
Indeed, sir. I hope even you too have enjoyed as we have enjoyed listening you. And I see it was really interesting to see how our learners, they have been so excited about, knowing about Ayurveda, about TM, about Panchakarma and many things. I think you have seen the queries flooded in the chat. So we are indeed looking forward to your next session, and I hope it will be as interesting as it is. And you also enjoy the session as we have enjoyed. And
yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Thank you so much. And really looking forward to the next session again.
Same
and
here.
All the best to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. So thank you all the learners.